In this video, I will teach you how to play the Ponziani opening, which is a very good opening, especially if you are rated, I would say below 1800 or maybe 1900 rating. This is a really good opening to play. First, we are going to take a look at some beginner mistakes. So this opening starts after e4, e5, knight to f3, black protects with knight to c6, yep, and then we play pawn to c3, going for the Ponziani opening. So there are many possible lines here for black. That is why I will try to focus mainly on the most played beginner mistakes. And then at the end of the video, we'll also take a look at the best lines for black, because it's important to also know what to do about those as well. So one of the most played moves here by black is playing bishop to c5, which is actually one of the worst moves. And the reason why is, as white in the Ponziani, all we are really trying to do is set up the strongest center possible, while also looking out for tactics, because there are many tactics in these positions. And by playing pawn to c3, we are actually trying to push pawn to d4 very early, so that we have basically an e4, d4 pawn center. And sometimes black tries to play bishop to c5 so that they can try and prevent us from pushing this pawn, but of course it doesn't do anything, because we can still push, they can take, we can recapture with the pawn, and then in the end the bishop is under attack. And even though the pawn is attacked twice, it's also defended twice, which of course means that if black were to capture, in the end black would always be losing a piece. So yeah, bishop c5, not such a good move yet. It's very common, so we will take a look at this variation. Usually from here on out the bishop has to move, so most of the time black will give a check here on b4. Sometimes they also go back to b6, which is a little bit less exciting to play, but still you can just play knight to c3. For example, they play d6, we can develop the bishop, which already sets up a threat as well here, that for example if they play this, we can just simply try to win a piece. So they have to go defensive with a move like bishop to d7, then you can castle. Maybe they play knight to e7, rook to e1, and something like this is very pleasant, of course, to play from the white side, because we just have the two central pawns, develop knight, some pressure here, the rook is already developed, so really good position for white. More often, you will see, instead of bishop to b6, that they go for the check with bishop to b4. And of course, if they give this check, we are just gonna block it, and I would recommend playing knight to c3, because still this is our normal developing that we want to do. If they capture here, it never really helps black, because of course this just strengthens our center, and it's pretty easy to play this. I just play some normal developing moves. Most of the time they will try to continue with knight to f6, sometimes with d6 as well, but basically everything runs into a lot of problems for black. If they play knight to f6, they are attacking this pawn here on e4, which it's protected, but of course the knight is pinned, so it's not really protected. So we have to do something about that. So we can play the bishop to d3 protecting, and most of the time black will castle. And castling is actually a blunder. This immediately loses the game for black, which just shows you that this is one of the most commonly played lines in the Ponziani, and black just loses. Why does this lose? Well, pretty simply, we can play pawn to e5, we can attack the knight. The knight doesn't really have any good squares. They might try to go here, so they have some counter pressure. But we have a beautiful Greek sacrifice here, which means we play bishop takes h7 check. The king takes, the knight goes in with check. If the king goes back or the king goes here, it never really matters. The best move is actually sacrificing the queen, which of course is still losing for black. But let's say the king goes back, of course you can come in with the queen. This is already a checkmate. If they try to play the rook here, you can basically take, check, 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 and then checkmate. So yeah, this is the most played variation pretty much, and it's just a free win for white. Instead of this, they can of course also try to play something with pawn to d6. This is always a little bit better for black than the variations with knight to f6, just because of course they are making it more difficult for us to ever push this pawn to e5. If they play this, now we are going to do a different approach. We are actually going to push this pawn here to d5. The knight is under attack. The knight doesn't really have many good squares. Most of the time I think you will see them play the knight here to e5, which is also a blunder, because of course we just have this queen check, and At the same time, we are also winning this bishop. So this just shows you that it's so easy for black to go wrong in these lines. And as white, it's really important that you always try to find tactics. Whenever black plays something that looks fishy, it's time to start calculating tactics. Especially this idea with queen a4 is available in many of these lines. Pushing these pawns in the center is also available in many of those lines. And it's so easy to go wrong with black. The best thing for black is probably to capture here first and then move the knight, because okay, even if we go for this check, there's no bishop anymore, so it doesn't matter. But still, this is a very bad position for black because of takes, takes, and you can already see that white just has the centralized pawns. White has more space, and white is going to have an easy game. There are more variations in this position, and as always, the pinned comment below this video will have a link to my Patreon where you can find more information and this Lichess study as well with all of the variations. Next up, we are going to take a look at another line for black, which is not so good, but it's very often played. That is, again, we played a Ponziani, and black plays something more passive. So instead of playing out the bishop, they play, for example, pawn to d6. Well, most of the time, the Ponziani, you don't even have to know that much theory. It's just we are going to continue with fighting for the center. So we play pawn to d4. Most of the time, black will take this. If they don't take this, they are still in a lot of trouble. I think probably the most popular move that you will sometimes see, which is instead of capturing, is to play the bishop to g4, pinning the knight. But this is never really a good move for black. Oftentimes also because there are going to be weaknesses. For example, this. Okay, I know black can move the rook, but now this knight is actually no longer pinned. We could potentially move it, try to go for a checkmate. And these lines are interesting to investigate, but they are a little bit less common. Most of the time, black will capture. And then, of course, we always just recapture. We go for this, and we always have the same plan with our development. The bishop is actually the most flexible piece. Depending on the position, there is really a big difference between putting it on d3, c4, or on a b5. Knight to f6, very common. This is usually the setup from black. And there are multiple things you can do here. If you want to keep things very simple, you can actually play just knight to c3, bishop to d3, or maybe b5, and then just castle. And yeah, this is a pretty good position for white anyways. But there is also an interesting trick you can try to set up here, which is playing pawn to h3. This is actually a trap. And the trap is that most players with black will capture this pawn for free, which immediately loses the game. Because after they capture this, we have pawn to d5. And this knight has to move. Let's say they move it to e5. Of course, we are winning again because of the queen check. But now it's not the bishop, but it is the knight that we are going to capture. So this is a very common tactic. You can even drop this e-pawn just to go for this check with the queen. So this is a very fun variation you can try. And even if they don't take the pawn, they might try to play the bishop out, but they will realize they don't have a lot of moves. If they put it here, you also have this fork. If they put it here, of course, it's very, very passive, and we can just continue with our development. They might also want to, for example, develop this bishop. But yeah, again, knight to c3, and it's a very good position for white. The only thing I have to say is that if you are playing a very high-rated opponent or somebody who has studied the Ponziani, they might actually go for this capture. And then after d5, they can play queen to e7. And queen to e7 sets up a lot of tactics. This is a bit of a more difficult variation. The best thing to do is actually to play bishop to e2, because if you take this, all of a sudden you get a check and you are also losing the queen. So it's important to realize that this is an option, although this has almost never been played, only 77 games in the database. But this is an option for black. You have to play this. Most of the time they will then move the knight. You can go for the check and they will block, and by blocking they will also protect their knight. And in this variation you actually don't win a piece, but your position is pretty good. So you have to notice if they play queen e7 that you don't fall for some tricks and lose your queen. Next up, a common beginner mistake as well is if you play the Ponziani, they try to play pawn to d5 very early on. And this line is actually something that is sometimes played by grandmasters as well, because it's not such a bad way of trying to fight back against the Ponziani. We can capture this pawn here if we want, but the thing is, if we capture this and let's say the queen comes to d5, usually you can punish this by playing your knight to c3 and attacking the queen. But in the Ponziani, we can't do that because, of course, our pawn is already on c3. So that means that capturing this is not as useful as it seems at first sight. So I would recommend to not capture this. But instead, a really good move in this position, and actually an interesting move to study, is to play the queen to a4. Because it's not a very common move to see the queen moving out in the opening so early, but it is a good move in this position because it sets up many different tactics as well. So first of all, we are just pinning the knight, and because we are pinning the knight, that means we might be able to win here on e4. And most of the time, they will capture on e4, and we will be able to capture back here on e5. And that is the main plan with playing the queen out. Of course, they don't have to capture. They can also try to defend, but usually then they run into the problem that no, the queen is no longer defending the d5 pawn. Not that this is super terrible for black. There are some tricks, for example, playing the knight here, discovered attack on the queen, going for some variation like this, but it's all still fine, and white is actually up a pawn as well. So this is why a queen to a4 is very interesting. It immediately puts the problem here that we can capture on e5, and even if they try to block, it doesn't actually help them at all. So yeah, it's pretty hard to play. Most of the time you will get your opponent to capture here on e4, and then you can capture on e5. As I said, you get this. And this position is already pretty tough to defend, and most players go completely wrong here. And they try to defend with bishop on d7. But of course this doesn't work, because we can take, and then we just take here with check as well. And again, we are up a pawn and we have the superior position. So yeah, this is very interesting, this pawn to d5 by black. It's not a bad attempt, but most of the time they go wrong a couple of moves later. Sometimes after this queen to a4, if you are playing somebody very experienced, you might get variations in which they play pawn to f6 actually on the fourth move, which it's totally crazy. If you've never studied this, you might think this is a bad move, but it's all actually a decent move because this protects the pawn here on e5. And yeah, there's not much to do here. Even if we capture this, the queen is going to recapture. And yeah, if we go for tricks here, the bishop can defend or the knight can defend. So this is also a variation that black can play, but it's pretty pleasant as well for white, I would say. You can get something like this, pawn to d4, and it's a bit more balanced. So I think this is one of the ways that black can try to defend against the Ponziani. And now we have really come to the moment that we have to talk about maybe the most difficult variations for white, which I think is the Jaenisch counterattack. So that is this variation, but black plays knight to f6. And this is actually a very common move by black. This is actually the most common move by black in this position. But most players with the black pieces don't actually really know how to play this, and they will go wrong very early on, and you will get some nice wins. So we are going to take a look at some lines. We of course want to continue with pawn to d4, and immediately this means we are now offering black up a pawn for free. So we are kind of playing a gambit, and that is the plan here for us. Most of the time black will capture something. They might capture here, or they might capture on d4. Those are basically the only two moves that are ever really played in this position. We are first going to cover what to do if they take with the knight, and then afterwards what to do if they take the pawn here. So if they take this knight, our plan is to push the pawn to d5, and this attacks them, so they have to move. And if we take a look at this knight, it doesn't actually have many good squares, so most of the time they are probably going to go back here to e7, which means now this pawn is undefended, because of course the knight which was defending it has been removed. So we can take this, and we now have this centralized position. And the most played move here by black is pawn to d6, which immediately loses the game. And that just means that, as I said, this variation is one of the best for black, and at the same time most players just ruin it by playing bad moves and falling for simple tactics. And this is pretty amazing, because if I show this position to a random chess player, there's actually a big chance they might not find the winning variation. And the winning variation here is to play bishop to b5. And you might be thinking it's queen to a5 because, well, we can take here. But the thing is, you also lose your knight, so it's not really such a good variation. The best thing is actually to play bishop to b5. And the reason why is we simply have a check that is really hard to block, because if they block with the bishop, we take, and they are basically forced to give up the queen. So yeah, black will probably not want to play this. If they block with the knight, you can take this. If they take here, you can actually take this, and this also comes with a check, and yeah, it's pretty devastating. Let's say they move out to bishop. I would probably go for some variation like this, and then you can also take here and make a new queen. So this is a really terrible variation for black. Most players will try to play pawn to c6, which loses because we can play pawn takes here, and if they take our knight, we actually take. This is again with a check. They have to block this. There are multiple variations that win. You can make a queen. You can take here as well and go for this line we have seen before, and then make a queen. So this is pretty easy to play from the white side. The best attempt probably for black is to play this pawn to c6, and then after we capture this, they might try to just recapture. Now we go knight here. This of course also attacks the queen. If they take this, we now have a check, attack the rook, and also we can take this knight, which is usually the best move. For example, this. But the thing is, of course, they can also just move the queen, and then you have to play something like knight here back, a check, maybe this variation. And of course, this is all still pretty good for white. All of this just to show that, yeah, even though the knight f6 line is decent for black, most of the time they will go wrong. One more interesting variation is the moment here that we push d5. Instead of being afraid and putting the knight back on e7, black can also go for the aggressive move bishop c5. But this is also very rare. Only about 1 in every 5 times you have this position will you see this bishop to c5 counterattack. And this basically means that we can capture the knight and black can capture here. If they take with the knight, it's not such a good move because we can actually attack their bishop and they might want to go back with the bishop. We can take with a check. So yeah, it's not such a good line for black. And even if in some variation black captures, for example, let's say they capture the rook, it doesn't really matter that they capture this because they are getting a rook, but in the end they are also going to be losing their knight. For example, we take this, the escaping squares for the knight are covered, and yeah, this knight is going to fall as well, so we will have enough compensation for the rook. And then one final variation, again the Jaenisch counterattack here, and we play pawn to d4 and black takes the pawn. And this is one of the most played variations in the Ponziani opening, and it's also pretty interesting from the white side, but we have some different plans. We are not going to recapture straight away, we are going to push the pawn to e5, and we are going to attack this knight. And again, if we look at this, the knight has some squares, but usually wherever it goes, it will be in trouble. Most popular is moving the knight to d5, and only then we will recapture, and white already has a really strong center here. Black will most of the time try to go for this check, which you can always block. You can pretty much choose if you want to block with the bishop or with the knight. It's both possible. I would say blocking with the bishop is the most fun because at least we have some counter attack as well. You might get this trade. Again, you can take with the bishop or the queen, the knight or the queen. It doesn't really matter. And these positions are a little bit less tactical. You don't really have those tricks that immediately give a checkmate, promote an extra queen, or win a piece. But these positions are still fine for white, just because, of course, let's say castles, knight to c3, they might trade. But if you look at this, the white center is very strong. We also are going to develop the bishop here, castle, and this is more just a solid position for white without any insane tactics, but still it's a pretty good line. So if you enjoyed this, definitely leave a like, and as I said, check out the top pinned comment if you want to know more about this opening. That's it, I'll see you in the next video, bye!